Hi, it's Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and thank you for joining me on the 3rd anniversary of the Secret Healer books. Now, I asked for people to send in questions for me to answer on video for the celebrations. So, first one today, I want to say thank you to Dawn Hodges Godin, and she sent me 2 questions. She sends me lovely messages quite often and always comments on Facebook, so thank you for all your support, Dawn. And she asked a great question that I think lots of people want to know the answer to. How do we decipher all the different information out there about undiluted oils and ingested oils? And I think that's a great question. She pointed out to me that she'd got a copy of Kurt Schnaubelt's book, and he often talks about ingestion in there, and it goes completely against the grain of everything else that you see on the internet. And I think you're right, it's confusing, Dawn. And I have to say, when I bought that book, I was quite taken aback to see him saying it so openly. But of course, it's a betrayal of our different upbringings. If you learned aromatherapy on the continent, then the chances are you have learnt to ingest the oils. And most of the information out there says don't do it, because it's as much about what we don't know as what we do know, to be honest with you. And I have to say, I have on occasion ingested oils, but only for very, very acute conditions. The one time I had diarrhea, really bad diarrhea, so I thought, right, I'm going to swallow the tea tree. I'm telling you, it coming back and repeating on me was far worse than the horrible diarrhea. It's vile. I know that one of the things that we were taught in my diploma was, for somebody who's got very, very bleeding cystitis, then a drop of bergamot in some alcohol is wonderful to really get there quickly. And I suppose what we need to be thinking about is the different bodily systems that you're looking to deal with. So, for example, if you're looking to deal with respiration, what is the point of swallowing an oil? Maybe you can coat the upper part of the upper respiratory gland, but apart from that, it's not going to help you. In terms of if it's the excretory system, then you're looking at gastrointestinal or genitourinary. Then yeah, the oils are going to go through that as part of the waste system, so they will help you there. But one of the main problems that you're thinking about is how the oils will react when they've hit the liver, when you're ingesting them. And unless you understand how things are metabolized in the liver, then I would say I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't do it. It's complicated. And when essential oils hit the liver, some constituents change into hundreds of different metabolites. And so you're dealing with a different chemistry to what you would be if you were inhaling it or you were putting it on topically. So I think if you're reading something that's written by somebody who knows what they're doing, then yeah, ingest, take their word for what they're doing. But I'm talking about trained aromatherapists here, people who have got advanced knowledge in their field. I'm not saying that a qualification necessarily makes you a better person at aromatherapy than somebody who's used essential oils for years, but I think you need to decide if you can trust your knowledge. Do you understand all the different effects that oil can do? So remember, oils don't have side effects, they have many main effects. Are you confident that you know every main effect of that oil, and will none of them have a negative effect on you? Are you happy that there will be no irritation? And incidentally, Tisserand's essential oil safety does tell you the maximum oral dilution, and mainly because his book is as much sent at emergency rooms. So if somebody swallows a bottle of oil, what's going to be the maximum level that we're going to see before we have really terrible effects? So you can see oral dilutions in Tisserand's books. However, I don't know why you would feel that you need to ingest. In terms of neat, I just think don't do it. When I qualified, we shoved on everything neat, and to a certain extent in habit I sometimes do it. I just go, oh, let's have a smell and rub it on, and you go, but you have a quick checklist of you in your head. Is it a dermal irritant? Well, obviously you're not going to put cinnamon on your hand, are you? But the other thing is that over time you may cause skin sensitization. There are reasons to use neat sometimes. For example, lemon and tea tree on a wart. Well, we want it to burn. That's what we want it to do. So we could use it undiluted there. And likewise, I think, for fear of saying the wrong thing, when we're using things like CBD against cancer, if it's a skin cancer or we're dealing with radiation, then I can see why you might use certain oils undiluted. But for the main part, if you are fairly new to aromatherapy, or if you're not confident that you know all of the contraindications that come from understanding the main effects, then don't do it. Dilute them, don't ingest them. And to be honest, I mean, just to put this in perspective, I've been a professional aromatherapist for 25 years, but I've been around aromatherapy since my mum qualified when I was 8. So that's, well, I'm older than God's dog, aren't I? So a long time. And honestly, the amount of times that I've used ingested oils in all that time, that's it. So yeah, the people that know what they're doing, the people who are trained in France, in Germany, in Belgium, Switzerland, that sort of arena, watch what they're doing, learn from them. But yeah, unless you're learning from a qualified person who understands it well, don't do it. Dawn also wanted to know what I think are the must-have aromatherapy books. Dawn, they're all Secret Healer ones, obviously. I don't think there are any must-have aromatherapy books, because everybody has a different slant on aromatherapy, and from that point of view, you're talking to a junkie. I'm an essential oil junkie. I'm a worse book junkie. But I just think read everything you can possibly read. My favourite authors are, I love Jennifer Rynne Pierce. I love Tisserand's books. Jane Buckle. I love Kurt Schnaubelt's book. Peter Holmes, I adore reading his work. And Bruce Bukowski. Oh gosh, I'm going to offend somebody, aren't I? I've only recently bought Andrea Boutier's book. I love it. I really love it. I have to say, Andrea, I didn't expect to love it, but I really do. Shout out for Jane Lawson, because I really like her book as well. I think that yes, if you should definitely have a book, you should definitely have books about carrier oils, because I don't think anybody writes enough about carrier oils. So Len and Shirley Price wrote a book about carrier oils, and there's a fantastic one by Jan Kuzmarek that is called Liquid Sunshine. I adore those too. So yeah, which ones do I use lots? Jean Valnet. I use Chrissy Wildwood's books, Patricia Davis, Julia Lawless, well, just loads. I have to say, every week I go into Ludlow and we've got an Oxfam bookshop, and I just go in and say, right, if it's just the title aromatherapy on there, then I'm buying it. Any kind of alternative medicine books, I'm buying them. So I'm the wrong person to ask, really, Dawn. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you, and I'm sending you a present to say thank you. Can you send me your address, please, so I can send you your copy of my new book? First person to see it. So this is Essential Oils reference book of articles and lectures by the Secret Healer. And if you can't tell what this is a cupboard full of herbs that Robert painted for me. Isn't it beautiful? And the Secret Healer stag on the front. We have the train. We always have the train, don't we? So some of you will have read already. It's articles that I've written for NAHA, for the IFA, for the Aromatherapy Times, for the Hungarian Aromatica magazine, and for Aroma Culture. If you have all of those magazines, you don't need to buy it. There are some overlaps. some of the articles you'll think, well, I read that in her vetiver book, or I read that in her clary sage book. Please be aware that the articles came before the book, before the actual clary sage book or the vetiver book, for example. But there is new stuff in there about mind, body, spirit that I think you'll really enjoy. For the rest of you, this is Dawn's copy, but for the rest of you, it's available at Amazon today.